Hi, I'm Stephanie,
And I'm Justy,
and
and
together
together
we're
we're
losing
losing
it.
it.
So, this is our very first episode outside of introductions, and we thought with it being end of the year, we wanted to dial in on um, 2022 and where we want to go in 2023. So, we're going to talk about goals, our personal goals, our goals together. Um, and so, we're going to start with what challenges we had in 2022. So, Justin, I'm going to let you get started with that.
Yeah, so the challenges that I have put down for 2022 were, well, I started 2022 at 202 pounds and I ended it at 208 pounds. So I kind of went backwards. The highest I got with the regain was around 220 when I got back from a trip. Um, so I didn't meet any goals. I really don't know that I set any goals. I wanted to be under 200, so that was a lie. I did. I wanted to be under 200, and I got really close. But then after analyzing it, I think the biggest issue that I have that I learned for 2022 is that I need to set boundaries. So when I'm by myself, not in a relationship, and when I'm not traveling, and when work isn't super overwhelming, I'm great. But when I'm in a relationship, I stop doing what my normal routine. When work is super stressful, I don't make time to work out and I kind of don't plan my food. And then when I'm traveling, obviously, I let those things go. So I need to work on setting boundaries. But I do feel proud that even though I am 6 pounds heavier than I was at the beginning of the year, I'm much stronger now because I started lifting weights. And I feel stronger mentally as well. So I feel like I'm more prepared for 2023 than I was for 2022.
Yep. And I think I'm similar in the sense that weight gain. So I had weight gain, different for me because I had weight loss surgery. I think I thought I was 16 months post-op when January rolled around, and I thought to myself, I'm in cruise control. I've lost the weight. I'm still losing a bit, maintaining it at the very least. I'm good. And I kind of let go. And I had a lot of changes. I moved twice in 2021, just for reasons, just life things that didn't work out. And so we moved twice, which brought me here.
Yay.
Brought me close to my bestie, but it was stressful. We moved the week before Christmas. And so I think I let stress get the best of me and I let myself get comfortable with thinking I was in cruise control. Like I had done it. 2022 is the year that I realized that I needed help. I needed to seek alternate methods of getting myself to where I wanted to be and not just weight loss, because while that's a huge part of it, it's been a huge part of our life, our entire life. And it's kind of like we finally got here. We finally got to that 100 pounds, right? But that's not it. There's more to it than that. And I just learned a lot about myself. So I started therapy in 2022. And I did start weight loss medication in 2022. And those, where I'm ending 2022 is in a way better place than where I started. But different from you, I didn't have goals. I just didn't, I was doggy paddling to get myself into 2022. So I was just staying afloat. And I feel like I see things clearer now and I know where I want to go with it. So 2022 taught me some lessons, and it is okay to ask for help. That was lesson number one. And so I've asked in a couple different ways. And um, the move was stressful.
Yeah.
Twice.
And that's good that you asked for help. That's where I struggle because
Me
I'm,
too.
superwoman and I can do everything myself and I don't need help. Oops.
Welcome to live recording.
Right.
Well, not live for you, but for us.
So anyway, what we did is we set some
We have
goals for
notes.
ourselves. Yeah, we have notes.
I don't know who I am right now.
We set goals for ourselves, and I think now that we've analyzed 2022, and we both feel pretty prepared to go into 2023, which I can't believe it's already 2023. It just seems like you moved here not long ago.
It's been a year.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah. So our goals are really close, and our path to get there is really close. So I think that's super interesting. So do you want to talk about your goal first?
Yeah. So we'll talk about mine. Let me get to my page. Wait, how many pages did I write? Lord, I've been busy today. So we took the morning today to kind of reflect and think, and We asked each other for help. So we're getting
Yeah.
better at that because it's kind of like, well, I feel like this, but how about that? And then you just sometimes need a little push to get you there. So we helped each other figure these goals out. So my number one goal, so we kind of have like pyramid goals. That's what I'm going to call it. My ultimate goal is to get to my goal weight of 165. And I know there's probably people listening that are like, oh, the number on the scale is just a number. And it is, but it isn't because it's data. It's data and it's certain data. If I never reached 165, I'd probably be okay, but that's my goal. And it has been my goal and it's an attainable goal. I'm not setting anything crazy for myself. My doctor agreed it's an attainable goal. I have a small frame. I do have probably between legs, hips, thighs, stomach, everything. I probably have about 15 pounds of extra skin. That's my guess based on watching other people's skin removals and whatnot. So if I got to 165, that would be like 150. But right now I'm at 180. So technically I'm at my goal minus skin. So I don't know. There's different ways to look at it. But 165, I'm trying to get to that number. And there's ways for me to do it. So we kind of broke it down. My second kind of bigger goal for me underneath of that 165 is, so I did a 5K with my husband yesterday. We've done three of them in the past 24 days, I think it was. I added it on the calendar. That's a little psycho, but you know, what are you going to do? I don't like running. I'll start with that. But I like the way I feel when I'm done. I like the accomplishment that I feel, but everything leading up to it, I'm like, bleh. And then once I get into it, especially in a race like that, you just feel a certain type of way. It pumps me up. And so I felt great yesterday. And he plays first in his age group, like whatever, Superman. No, but I was really, really proud of him because he's come a long way too. But like it just gives you it's baby goals for you. So when I talked to him yesterday, I said, I have an idea for my goals for 2023. One of my goals, I want to do a 5K or a race per month. And he's like, awesome, let's do it. So we're kind of dedicated to that. But then we started looking at races in January, and there's nothing that we can do because I travel for work. One of them's New Year's Day, and he works, and it's just like, okay, nothing in January is working for me. So I'm going with 12 a year. I may do two in February, none in January, but I'm going with 12 a year, shooting for one per month. But I'm going to make a realistic goal. I don't want to tie myself into one per month and then January I can't do one and I'm out. And I'm not into the virtual thing because Jesse was like, how about virtual? But it's like, meh, there's nobody, you don't get that feeling. There's nobody with you. I can go for a run any day that I want. I could say I'll do 12 runs a year, but that's not the same. So I want to do live type of run. And for that, I wore my my first ever race. I told him to tell a quick story. We're gonna keep this one short, I promise. But I'm gonna tell a quick story. So I told my sister I never did a race before, and I told her I want to do a 5K. Let's find me a 5K. She's like, okay. She's like, how about this duathlon? I'm like, what the heck's a duathlon? So it was a triathlon, but they took the swim out of it because of COVID. So it's bike and run. And I was like, Jennifer, I said a 5K. She's like, well, 5K is part of it. So I ended up doing that for my first race with my cruiser bike and I got some looks, but let me tell you what, I was getting it on my cruiser bike.
Which is funny because this is the girl who, when I did my 10K, I think at Disney with her sister, was like, no, I'm going to be in the cheering section for the rest of my life. I'm going to be the best cheer. You know, she was just
and
not
going to be a runner. Thoughts that we allow ourselves. I have it in me. I didn't have it in me then because I was 300 pounds, but I have it in me to do that. And like I said, I don't love it. I love the feeling of it when I'm done, especially, but I don't love exercise. I'm not going to lie. I do it for my health.
I love exercise, but not running.
Yeah, I don't love any exercise.
My knees don't like it.
But I do it. And I love the way I feel. And so that's what I'm after. It's the way that I feel, not the actual, like, I'm not doing it and like, oh, I love this running or I love lifting these weights. No, I like how I feel when I'm done. So that's for me. But anyway, so she roped me into it. It was my first ever race. I did a duathlon and I was doubting myself, but the whole time I did it, I could have done more. I could have pushed more, but we agreed to stay together. And so now I like to individually do them. I did a 5K with my family on Thanksgiving too, and I stayed with everybody. But when I do it myself, I can push myself to do more. And so I kind of like that. So with that, in those two kind of cascading goals, I have meal prep weekly. And if I can't prep it weekly for some reason, because I do travel for work sometimes or out of town or whatever, at the very least, I'm going to meal plan. So I have a whiteboard in my kitchen. I plan the week out based on my husband's schedule or what we're doing or what's going on, where we're going to be, if we're eating out, if we're eating in, and what we're having. So if I can't meal prep, because Justy and I, we're going to meal prep tomorrow. If I can't meal prep for the week, I will at least meal plan. We're going to continue recording our podcast. That's going to carry on through the year. Our plan right now is to release bi-weekly, every other Tuesday, and Transformation Tuesday. And then I'm going to continue with at least monthly therapy. Right now I do that bi-weekly, but I feel like I think monthly would be fine for me. And then for me, for exercise, I'm going to say 5 times a week. And that exercise for me is either I go to the gym and I work out, or I do a yoga or something on the TV, or I meet my step goal, which is 12,000 steps. And 12,000 steps is above average. So for me, if I can meet that 12,000 steps, I probably am okay with that actual workout, because I work from home. So I have to purposely go and get those steps. So that's my kind of cascading goals from there. Would you have some similar?
Yeah, I do.
And before she gets into hers, I'm gonna cut you off.
Okay, no, that's fine.
Bitch. I was once told by a boss of mine, and I think it's really important to share this, that if you have goals, and this was work related, but I carried it over into my personal goals. If you have goals that involve other people, it needs to also be their goals. Otherwise, it's not a focus for them, and you're scrambling trying to get them on board with what you're doing, and it's not part of their goal, so it's not a priority for them. So I think somebody as close to me as Justy, it's important to write my goals with them. My husband yesterday, after we did that race, and I told him that's now his goal too. So we're seeking these races together, 12 of them for the year. And then your goals are very similar to mine. So we're going to seek that together. So I say that to say, find your circle, find your people whose goals align with yours.
Right. And I'm going to share my goals with my dog Sancho as well. And he's going to help me.
He's coming out there with you.
He's going to come out there.
We're working out together.
So my goals are a lot like Steph. So my weight goal is a little bit different. Mine is 180. My 2022 goal was to be under 200, which I'm going to be having not weight loss surgery, skin removal surgery, in less than a month. And so that's going to take off probably at least 10 pounds. It's going to make me be more mobile, more confident, and just make me, I feel like I should have felt all along. So, anyway, so I'm going to be doing that. And how I'm going to get there is, once I recover, because I'm going to probably spend the first, I would say 2 or 3 months of the year just getting to recover and feeling
Getting
better,
your protein in,
feeling better, taking the time and not trying to get back into it so quickly. So but I'm still going to do a couple of things. I'm going to still plan my meals and meal prep, or have somebody meal prep for me.
I do. It's like Meals on Wheels. I'm like, Justy, so here's what I have for you this week. She's like, great, I'll be by tomorrow.
Right. And my mom's going to come stay with me. And so she'll be really good at helping me cook as well. But I'm still going to start off 2023 with planning my meals every day, whether I'm in a relationship, whether I'm traveling, or whether I have a stressful work. I'm going to at least plan, write it down, and meal prep as much as I possibly can. So another goal that I have, I love body pump, and it's my favorite workout ever. And I, for a long time, have seen myself like teaching that class or becoming a body pump coach, but I never did, because who wants to follow the big girl up there? So I think that's going to be help me be a goal by the end of the year, get certified to do that. So it will allow me to work on gaining my strength and stay. I love to teach, so being a teacher as well. So that's really important to me. So I want to have that by the end of the year. Again, I don't know how long that's going to take me to recover. And so I'm going to take it easy, but that is a goal of mine. And then my other one is to continue the biweekly podcast with Steph. And that's going to really help me stay accountable, and us stay accountable to our goals and our plans, and helping people. Her and I both talked about how we wish we wouldn't have waited so long. Even though we took different paths, we got here and it feels great. And we know we have a long path to continue to go, but if we can just help some people get it started and, get down the path, whatever path they choose, I think that's super important to both of us, because we feel like we wasted a lot of time.
Yeah, definitely. And I also think, I'm going to backtrack here a bit. Just some other notes, sorry. just like with anything else that you do, just like when I chose to have weight loss surgery, it's my why. What's my why for doing it? And so we had to put some whys behind our goals. And I think our whys are the same,
Mm-hmm.
honestly. It's just for me, why this is important to me, why it's important to me to do the 12 races, why it's important to me to get to that 165 is because I love the life I have now. I love the person I've become. I love the
Mm-hmm.
confidence that I have. I love the way that I feel. I love the fact that I'm not on any medication,
Mm-hmm.
aside from vitamins and um, allergy pills. I can't change that. I love those things about me, and I'm finally able to be the person that I feel like I've always was meant to be.
Mm-hmm.
I am able to lead classes and virtually via Zoom, but I'm able to stand in front of a class, a room full of people, and teach them how to make better meals for themselves, or to get onto this podcast. And one of the reasons why we decided not just to record our voices but ourselves is because we're proud of who we are and where we've come from, and so we're able to live the life that we weren't able to live before, but we knew we were always meant to live.
Mm-hmm.
And so my why is to keep on doing that
Mm-hmm.
and to take it to the next level. Like this, doing this podcast, while it wasn't a goal of ours in the beginning of 2022, it's something that we thought about
Mm-hmm.
and have kind of maybe even joked about a little
Right.
bit. And then
Mm-hmm.
I was like, let's just do it. And she's
Right.
like, yeah, let's do it. So we did.
Mm-hmm.
And so while it wasn't an entire year long goal, it was a goal. It's
Mm-hmm.
something we're both teachers, and we know that we've got 46 years worth of experience in weight gain, attempting weight loss, and attempting to be healthy, and working out and not working out and feeling all the feels. We have 46 years of that each. And
Mm-hmm.
so it's kind of like we have a lot to offer. And so I don't want to say we figured it all out, but we figured a lot out.
Mm-hmm.
And if we can help anybody, then let's do it. So a podcast was born from that. And so it's kind of like we're very goal oriented
Mm-hmm.
people, and when we set our mind out to do something, we're going to do it. And so
Mm-hmm.
I know that we wrote these together. We're going to hold each other accountable for what we put down. I don't think either of us put anything crazy down. Let's just say end of the year, this time next year, I'm sitting at 168 pounds. I'm okay with that.
Mm-hmm.
You know why? Because I'm not 180 anymore. And even we talked about that too. If I never lost anything else and this was it, I'm okay with that too. But I'm still going to strive towards a goal, because if I don't have a goal to work towards, then I'm really just back to 2022 of treading water, because that's exactly what I did in 2022, which led me to weight gain. And that was the reverse of what I wanted to do. So
Exactly. And I think my why is pretty much the same. I've been thinking about, the skin removal surgery and for years, and I'm finally doing it. So my why is to finally feel like the person on the outside that I feel like on the inside. And then also, I just want to be a person who is confident in my body, however it is. And then also somebody who knows how to set boundaries, like I said, for um, when life happens, I want to be able to just not take steps back. And that's going to be a lot of work for me. And I think as I figure that out, sharing that and helping people with that, I was talking to my personal trainer the other day, and he was like, wow, you've really opened my eyes, because I always thought you tell clients, you eat this, you do this, you eat this, and then they're going to have a result. But I talked to him about, well, that doesn't work for people like me. We need to have, it's a lot of mental work, and we need to work through our mindset, and we have to start thinking positively and not talking to ourselves like assholes. And so he's like, wow, you really opened my eyes. And so I really just want to help people in any way that I can, along with helping myself
right.
finalize my goals, and to me, that's very, very important. And I think this podcast, if only it helps 3 or 4 people, I'll be really satisfied with that.
Yeah, and putting yourself out there. And I learned that too, just from different community, the weight loss and the weight loss surgery community on Instagram. Putting yourself out there and being vulnerable and letting people see you for the ups and the downs and the good and the bad. Excuse me, it holds me accountable, because I know there's people watching me. And so it's sad to say, but it's not enough to know that I'm watching me. It's other people that I don't want to let down. And so that's a whole nother episode, but
That's a people pleaser episode.
right, exactly. Like I don't, I don't want to let other people down, but how many times have I let myself down? So it's like,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, I'll save that for my therapist. But yeah. And so some things, kind of to take it back another step is who I want to be in order to have these goals come to life. And so I know that Justy's, I said I want to be more focused and organized. She's like, you already are organized, which I am.
Compared to me.
It's the focused part. I can lose focus really easily, but when I'm on task, I'm on task and I'm organized. So I think I want to just stay focused onto what these goals are, and I want to remain confident. I have feel a level of confidence I've not felt in years, and I want to continue on with feeling that confidence. I want to make myself more available to the people that are important in my life, because I feel like I have been so focused on, and selfish or not, but so focused on myself and my goals and what I wanted to be and what I was looking for, that I didn't make myself as available as I could have or should have to the people that are really important to me. So that's one for me. And then just, I want to be a teacher and a leader. And we are in certain areas of our life, but I want to be more of that in this area. Like I said, we have a lot to give. So that's kind of like who I want to be in order to get there.
And I think this kind of the same thing with me. But her and I were talking about earlier is that I want to start having more conscious reasons why I'm doing what I'm doing instead of just doing. Like I get up every day and go to the gym and this and that, and I do this and I do my work and I do this and do that. But it's like, but why? And so that's
we're supposed to.
Right. And so it's kind of like, well,
enough.
but what purpose is this serving me?
Mhm.
And so I think that's really going to be a focus in 2023 is like, okay, I'm going to eat, but why? Why am I eating this? What I'm feeling right now? Why am I feeling this way? Why am I continuing this relationship that isn't serving a purpose for me? Kind of, I'm going to be a little selfish in 2023.
Absolutely.
Because I am taking such a huge risk and spending a lot of money and a lot of time to recovery. I don't want to mess it up with my surgery. So that's just going to be my focus this year is less doing and more doing things that have a reason behind them.
Right. And not to be your therapist, but in 2022, you and some of 2021, I would say you gave up a lot of yourself and your goals, and you didn't have those boundaries, which continued to set you back.
Yeah.
And I think, again, I go back to having your goal be other people's goals as well. Had in a relationship that you're in, if the other person is on board with it, then it's going to be helpful to you. Having your closest friends, if they're on board with it, whether they're doing it or not, too, they have to at least be on board.
Right.
For a whole nother episode again, something that we talked about that we want to do in the future is what you had to let go of.
Right.
And some of that is people. And so you've had to let go of a few people.
A few people, yep, a few people. And but at the end of the day, like you said, they were not the right people. They weren't serving my purpose in life, and I wasn't serving theirs either.
Right.
Because I was trying to have them be somebody that they're not. And so just being authentic to myself and really making sure that everything I do is purposeful. I think it's super important.
Yeah. So I think that's that wraps up our goals for the year. So like I said, we're gonna try to keep this one short and sweet. And just hopefully you can take some time, just think about, we didn't go into a whole lot of our thought process there, but just break it down. Take your one main goal, break it down into some mini goals that all feed up to it. So do like a pyramid style. But I went into 2022 without a single goal. I was just like, I've gotten where I want to be. No, it doesn't work that way. This is a forever thing. This is not I got under 200 pounds. I'm in Wonderland. I'm good to go for the rest of my life because I quickly went right above 200 again. So that's not the way it works. So just know that if you're in a, health and weight loss mind frame and that's your goal, it's going to be a forever goal. And it's something that you have to continue working on. So take some time, put some goals down, put it on paper. I mean, we're chicken scratch, but there it is. Put it on paper and make it a priority.
Yeah, I agree 100%. And also, when I speak to my employees about business, it's like, to me, the scariest thing is being mediocre. in a business world, running bakeries, and because there's, other places that people can go. So you have to be excellent, and you have to always, part of quality is continuing to improve. And so I'm going to use that kind of same thing in my own life, where it's like, well, this is practice what you preach, sister, because you're telling, your employees that you can't be mediocre. We have to, quality is, first and foremost, and we have to continually improve. So I don't want to get said mediocre in my own life either. So I just, I'm super excited. Actually, 2022 was a good year, a really good year. It's like the first year in a while that I'm not like, glad this fucking year's over.
For me, it was just a year. It wasn't great. It wasn't bad. It was a year.
But I don't want to spend another year being okay or good. I want it to be fucking fabulous.
Yeah.
Because we're 46.
Yeah.
Right.
And we're fabulous.
And how many do, I think about that. Like, I'm not wasting time. I don't want to waste time.
Yeah.
And so, to me, that's super exciting.
Yeah.
So, and I'm going to do it with my bestie.
Yep, we're going to do it together. So yeah, get yourself some goals and know that it's okay if you don't hit them, but if you don't have anything to reach for, then there's no measuring stick, and you end up floundering like I did in 2022. I turned it around. I'm ending the year on a better note than I started, but I floundered to get there. So don't do that to yourself. Put something down. Put something down on paper, and maybe in your, we should do this in our calendar, set like a quarterly reminder, like, because it's all great, rah, we set our goals. And then this time next year, it's like, what were my goals again?
Right. And I have bakeries. And so I'm super excited because everybody kind of loses it by Valentine's Day, which is our busiest day of the year. So it's just kind of funny where the first 2 or 3 weeks of the year, our bakeries are super slow, but then slowly but surely by Valentine's Day, everybody's back to sugar. So
yeah. So I'm going to put it in my calendar. I'm going to set myself a reminder to, where am I? Like a quarterly checkup with myself. So that way I can continue to meet
and
these
we could
goals.
probably even do a podcast.
We can. Yeah. That's a great idea. Jot that down.
All right.
All right, guys. Thanks for joining us, and we'll talk to you next time.
Bye.
Bye.